This is News 8 Now this morning.
This tap water study helped us determine that there really weren't significant amounts of other toxins. Part of me is really relieved.
For the most part, a lot of the food that goes into food service programs comes from Wisconsin farmers, and we can make that even more important. And so I haven't heard any people say it's dead on arrival, so I guess it's still alive, and we're hopeful that we can get that through.
We have an opportunity to be able to get food into the hands of so many more people in this community and make it a healthier option for them if we just could ramp up the amount of space that we have.
Good morning. That was your eye-opener with some of the stories we'll be covering this morning. Thank you for watching News 8 Now. I'm Sophia Pullman.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is Tuesday, March 14th, and we all got through Monday.
All right.
But it's a chilly start.
It is. So we're going to have to get through this chilly start, right? And
yes.
Then over these next few days, we'll be talking about some rain, maybe even some snow here as well. But let's get to right now, because it is pretty cold outside across much of the Coulee region, with temperatures, in fact, near 0 degrees currently if you're in Eau Claire watching us from watching this morning. Meanwhile, the rest of us are mainly into those single-digit readings, but there are some locations that are actually below 0 here too. So let's get right to it. You can see Winona's currently at 5 and La Crosse at 7 degrees here this morning. And those below 0 temperature readings are well to the east and north. Sparta, Black River Falls, and Ladysmith all below 0 this morning, with 12 below the temperature right now for Black River Falls. And you can see that we are looking at mostly clear skies to work with this morning. And as we head into your planner, we are going to be looking at mostly clear skies for today, but it will be pretty cold though, as temperatures will be into the 30s this afternoon. I'm expecting highs to reach 35 degrees or so by around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And coming up in a few minutes, we'll talk about your full weather forecast, because there will be some changes that we may have to talk about here near the end of the work week. All that and more coming up a little bit later. Sophia?
Thanks, Derek. Let's get to some news this morning. 6 people are in custody in connection to an investigation into human remains found at a Jackson County residence. Last Thursday, Star Myers called police to report a missing person. The sheriff's office says they got a tip that the person was dead and that the death involved foul play. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office, State Patrol, and State Crime Lab searched a property in the town of Manchester where they found human remains. The remains are being tested for identification. Jackson County Sheriff Dwayne Waldera says this is an isolated incident and there's no danger to the public. The investigation is ongoing. For more than 2 years, residents in the town of Campbell have been unable to drink their own tap water. That's because their groundwater is contaminated with man-made chemicals known as PFAS. On Monday night, however, residents received some good news. News 8 Now's Dua Ishrar has us at the U.S. Geological Survey meeting and explains how the town of Campbell may be closer to a solution.
Something needs to be done, in my opinion.
Finding a solution to a problem can take time. For Town of Campbell residents, it's been over 2 years and they're still looking.
The people sitting here tonight, they just want to be able to turn on their tap.
Last October, the U.S. Geological Survey sampled 10 locations in the town of Campbell, but the focus of this study wasn't PFAS.
I wanted to hear what other contaminants might be in our water.
Supervisor 2 Lee Donahue says it's an important step to finding clean drinking water.
This tap water study helped us determine that there really weren't significant amounts of other toxins. Part of me is really relieved.
For residents like Wally Tulare, today's results are hopeful.
I was very encouraged to hear that the deep aquifer is so clean.
So while finding a solution may take time,
we will find out for certain what's there, if there are any PFAS, if there's anything else of concern.
For Town of Campbell residents, this is progress. Reporting in Town of Campbell, Dua Ishrar, News 8 Now.
Now that residents know there are very few other toxins in the groundwater, there's potentially deeper layers of aquifer may provide a clean drinking water. The town of Campbell is drilling into those deeper levels to find out if they are free of PFAS. If so, it could be a long-term solution. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services is investigating a series of scams that target food share members. The scam tells members to call a number and provide information about their account, seemingly to avoid benefits becoming locked. The scanners use this information to steal benefits. The DHS is removing access to unknown phone numbers and replacing Quest cards that may have been affected by the scam. To learn how to protect your benefits, we posted more information at news8000.com. Reminders for absentee voters in La Crosse. If you requested an absentee ballot for the upcoming April election, it's on the way. If you would like to vote absentee but haven't requested a ballot, don't panic. You can request a ballot until Thursday, March 30th in person. Absentee voting opens Tuesday, March 21st through the 31st. Make sure to bring a photo ID to the polls or follow all instructions for mailing your ballot. And the city of La Crosse is making changes to downtown parking ramps beginning on April 3rd. Parking during the weekdays will cost $1 per hour from 6 a.m. to 6 in the evening. There is no cost for parking on weekdays from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Parking is also free on the weekends. These rates only apply for the ramps on Pine Street, Main Street, Market Square, and the La Crosse Center ramp. The Riverside ramp will remain free of charges at all times. Governor Evers has continued making his way around the state to talk about his new budget. On Monday, the governor was in Holmen. Part of Evers' budget plan is $120 million devoted to his Healthy Meals, Healthy Kids program. It would provide breakfast and lunch to Wisconsin public school students. The Holmen School District has a universal nutrition program which helps teach students healthy eating habits. Evers says it will impact many kids around the state and Wisconsin's own food producers.
For the most part, a lot of the food that goes into food service programs comes from Wisconsin farmers, and we can make that even more important. And so I haven't heard any people say it's dead on arrival, so I guess it's still alive, and we're hopeful that we can get that through.
This is all part of Governor Evers' plan to invest more than $2.6 billion into the state schools. It would be the largest investment in state history. At La Crosse's YMCA, feeding the community just got fresher. The Y cut the ribbon on its brand new walk-in cooler on Monday thanks to a donation from the Rotary Lights. News 8 Now's Emily Hagen was there and explains how this new addition is helping the food program do more.
Good food feeds the soul. And for growing kids, a balanced diet is essential.
Making sure that they have full bellies so they can reach their full potential.
Food Program Director Courtney Kramalis says La Crosse's YMCA served the community over 200,000 healthy snacks and meals last year alone.
Just serving our community the best way that we can.
But something big was holding them back.
We had such restraints because we did not have the refrigerated space that we required for our program. So I just told them, we want to be able to do so much more in this community than what we're already doing.
That's where Rotary Lights stepped in, quickly.
When Courtney tells her story and there's a huge need there, there's no reason to delay. I mean, we made our commitment.
Rotary gifted the Y $20,000 for a walk-in cooler.
Not sure how often ribbons are cut in honor of refrigeration, but for us, this is a really big deal.
Bringing fresher foods to families today.
In some cases, of course, it's the only meal they get or the only nutritious meal that they get.
That fuel matters, so this is a chance to give kids what they need. And it lifts a weight off of busy families.
The price of groceries is, as we all know, astronomical right now, so being able to just give them a little relief on our end is what we are hoping to do. So,
in La Crosse, Emily Haugen, News 8 Now.
This cooler will especially help the YMCA's food program. That includes the Mobile Market Food Pantry and the Youth Food Program. Still ahead on your morning news, the childhood favorite making its way into school cafeterias, we explain. And the latest office trend used to kickstart the week, that and more coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Tuesday is the 14th day of the third month. 3, 1, and 4, those digits are crucial because they make March 14th National Pie Day. Not pi as in apple pie or pizza pie, but pi as the mathematical constant 3.14, represented by the Greek letter pi. It's the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. First major observance of Pi Day was in 1988 at the San Francisco Exploratorium. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning after the break.
Off to a nice clear start this morning, but conditions are rather cold, though, as far as our temperatures go. In fact, off to a very frigid start for you in Eau Claire. You're currently at 1 below, 12 below in Black River Falls. It's 7 degrees currently in La Crosse. And we'll get a check on your zone forecast now. La Crosse County, our high temperatures today, well, we'll be warming up into the mid-30s, 37 West Salem, 36 in Berry Mills. High temperatures further south, 37 in Lynxville today, 34 in Westby, and 36 degrees if you're in La Crescent. High temperatures at 37 in Winona today, 35 in Osseo, and 37 in Melrose. Meanwhile, here in the Chippewa Valley, we're going to be looking at highs today mainly into the mid-30s with lots of sunshine to work with. And on the dog walking forecast, we got clear skies here for the morning. Sunny conditions for the afternoon. Could see a few clouds here this evening, but overall mostly clear, though, here for the majority of the day. And for your schoolcast, off to the bus stop we go. Clear skies, 12 degrees here for the morning. On the way back, we're going to be looking at temperatures warming up to 33, while still remaining quite sunny here for much of the day. Now, still to come here in a couple of minutes, we're going to talk about your full weather forecast and let you know how long this nice weather will be lasting.
In our consumer news this morning, a popular water bottle is facing a massive recall. According to Consumer Reports, the water bottle company Bindle is recalling its Sip and Stash water bottle after extremely high levels of lead were found in the bottles. Exposure to lead can cause an increased risk of cancer and reproductive problems. If you have one of the Sip and Stash bottles, it's recommended you stop using them. There's an expansion to a recall on a prescription dog food from Purina. The brand's ProPlan Veterinary Diets Elemental dry dog food was initially recalled in early February because of high levels of vitamin D. The recall has been expanded to include more lots. Those with the food are encouraged to compare their bags, UPC, and production codes with those on the FDA's recall website. No other Purina products are affected. A fan favorite will soon become part of school lunch programs. The Kraft Heinz company said 2 new varieties of Lunchables will be in school cafeterias this fall. Lunchables Turkey and Cheddar Cracker Stackers and Lunchables Extra Cheesy Pizza. These are different than those found in grocery stores. The company says they have improved nutrition that meets guidelines for the National School Lunch Program. The announcement comes as school nutrition guidelines are becoming more strict. The latest office trend eases into the work week by doing less. It's called Bare Minimum Mondays. As CBS's Michael George explains, it's not about slacking, it's about self-care.
Marissa Jo Mays came up with a solution to the dreaded start of the work week.
This video is permission to do the absolute bare minimum today.
The self-employed digital creator and startup co-founder practices Bare Minimum Mondays.
You used to hate Mondays, but now you love them.
From her home in Phoenix, Mays keeps the first 2 hours of her Monday free and schedules only 3 tasks for the day.
It was like some kind of sorcery had happened. As soon as the pressure was gone, I was more productive than I'd been in a long time. You'd make a to-do list that was way too long, thinking you could overachieve your way out of the stress, but you never did.
Mays promoted the concept with TikTok videos, and they went viral.
People relate to the stress that I'm describing and the overwhelm that I'm describing. And when they hear about the changes that I feel now, they want in.
Bare Minimum Mondays is the latest strategy to combat ever-increasing work burnout. According to the job search engine and review site Glassdoor, the phrase mental health in company reviews jumped 91% from 2019 to 2022. Burnout mentions were up 42% in that same time. Now, workers are experimenting more with boundaries.
If employers are concerned about how this is playing out in the workplace, it's a great time to reopen the discussion about how burnout is affecting employees.
While the bare minimum approach isn't possible for all workers, Mays says there are ways everyone can improve their day.
It's really asking these questions that can start to get people thinking about themselves as also a human in addition to an employee.
And it's working.
And that doing less can be more.
That's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek and today's forecast.
All right, thanks for that, Sophia. We are looking at mainly clear conditions here for us this morning with temperatures well into the single digits here in La Crosse. In fact, right now we're currently at 7 degrees. Visibility's at around 10 miles, and we are looking at calm wind speeds here to work with. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, we're currently at 1 below 0. Calm wind speeds here as well. Visibility, though, looking good there on your screen at around 10 miles, so good driving weather here for your morning commute. Clear skies right now in the local satellite and radar, and widening out the view, you can see the reason why, and that's because we have high pressure here basically nearly on top of us this morning, and the indications is that this system was going to slowly move towards the east while still remain in control of our weather pattern by bringing us plenty of sunshine. But first we have to get through these cold temperatures, because as you can see, there are some spots like Black River Falls, Sparta, even east into the Volkfield area, looking at temperatures well below 0, while the rest of us here are into the single digits across much of the Coulee region. And so we're going to be looking at those temperatures lasting through at least 7 o'clock this morning. Then we're warming up into the mid-20s by noon today. 4 o'clock, 36 degrees, lots of sun, and 8 o'clock this evening, we're looking clear. Temperatures will be around 29, just shy of 30 degrees in many spots. And you'll see locally here on Sky Tracker that the majority of us, if not all of us, will be looking sunny here throughout the morning, and also as we head into the afternoon. Maybe a couple of clouds here and there, but overall mainly sunny. Heading into tonight, a couple of clouds could develop. Temperatures then drop into the low 20s. And as we head into the overnight hours, still looking mainly clear around 4 a.m. and with temperatures into the 20s and 30s by tomorrow morning. Now by late tomorrow morning at 10, I expect some increasing clouds, and in fact we may even be turning completely overcast here by tomorrow afternoon, and temperatures will be into the 40s and in some spots nearing those low 50s during the afternoon. And that's because we're actually going to be out ahead of a very strong storm system after we get through this high pressure system that's going to bring us the pleasant weather today. But you can see that high is going to be moving out. Here comes that system that I mentioned here as we head into Thursday. That's going to give us some good chances of rain, and we are going to be looking at even the rain mixing or transitioning over to snow by Thursday night and also into Friday. So that's why we do have rain and snow chances in the forecast for Thursday and Friday there. Now Saturday, we could see some lingering cloud cover. Temperatures much cooler at 29 degrees. Lots of sunshine for Sunday though, high of 37. We'll start off next week with cloudy skies, and on the first official day of spring looking cloudy as well with a high of 44. Lows into the 20s and teens. Stay tuned. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. We're taking a quick break with a look at what happened on this day in history for March 14th. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Blitz. Two of our girls basketball teams brought back some hardware over the weekend as both Aquinas and Blair Taylor returned home with a silver ball, and now the focus shifts to the boys' side, and the Coulee region has a lot to be proud of. 5 of our area teams earning a spot on the big stage in Madison later this week. We're going to start with the powerhouse in Division II. They are back for the second straight season. La Crosse Central is heading to the state tournament. The Riverhawks have been on an absolute mission in Madison all season long, and Central continues to find ways to get it done. Senior Nick Williams hitting one of the biggest shots of the year against rival Onalaska in the regional round, a game winner in the final seconds against the Hilltoppers. And then this past weekend, Central storming all the way back in the second half to take down New London as the Riverhawks punched their ticket for a second straight state tournament appearance. Central came home with a silver ball last season. I asked head coach Todd Ferguson yesterday if there's any part of that journey that could be used as fuel for this year's squad. He says not at all. For this team, the goal is always just to play their best, and the stage and opponent will not affect that.
I don't know that last year, created any additional motivation for these guys. I think, each year they want to be the best they can be, and that's kind of the way we approach it. And really, we just try to have the kids, not make it too big. It's just a game. Enjoy it, play hard, compete, do the best he can do, and whatever happens, as long as we give our best effort, we can live with it.
Burgett and the Riverhawks will be ready to go Friday at the Kohl Center for the D2 semifinal against Whitnall. Let's take a look at how the rest of the schedule looks for our other teams making the trip to Madison on Thursday. West Salem getting the overall #1 seed in D3. The Panthers are back at state for the second straight season. They'll play the #4 seed Milwaukee Academy of Science at 1:35 on Thursday. And how about this one in Division 4? Buckle up. Two of our squads going at it in the semifinals. Luther and Whitehall squaring off on Thursday night. And in D5, how about Royal? The Panthers getting a 4 seed. They'll play a matinee Friday morning against Newman Catholic. Staying with Central, but shifting over to the girls' side, Riverhawks senior Brittany Mislivacek being named to the WBCA Division II All-State Honorable Mention list on Monday. Mislivacek led Central in scoring at over 20 points a game. She was also second on the squad in rebounds at just under 7 a contest. The senior hit the 1,000-point milestone all the way back in December. Just a phenomenal career at Central. And now Brittany sets her sights on college. She'll be playing basketball at Michigan Tech next fall. NFL news now. We're all still waiting patiently to find out where Mr. Rogers is headed, but at least we know where Keyshawn Nixon will be. That's returning kicks at Lambeau Field. The Packers signing Nixon to a 1-year, $6 million deal to stay in Green Bay. Nixon was an overnight sensation last season. Didn't get his first opportunity until week 6, but he made the most of it. Nixon still led the league in yards per kickoff return at just under 29. He also became the first Packers player to be an All-Pro on special teams since 1993. Free agency frenzy continuing on the Vikings side as well. Veteran cornerback Patrick Peterson is heading to Pittsburgh on a 2-year deal. The 8-time Pro Bowler and 3-time All-Pro spent the last 2 seasons in Minnesota. Peterson had a resurgence with the Vikings last season. His 5 interceptions in 2022 was the second highest total for a season in his career. Peterson will turn 33 in the summer. He has said he plans on playing 14 years in the NFL. He's already at 12, so this should be his final stop as he heads to the Steelers. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Breaking overnight, China will resume letting foreign tourists visit the country for the first time in 3 years. The country's foreign ministry says China's borders will reopen to those with valid visas beginning on Wednesday. And multi-year visas issued before March 28, 2020 will be reactivated as long as they had not expired. China had been limiting visas to business and family visits as part of its measure to contain the spread of COVID-19. The death toll following the Turkey-Syria earthquake has surpassed 54,000. The death toll has now reached 54,362 after Turkey's Interior Ministry reported additional deaths on Monday. The number of people dead in Turkey alone went up to 48,448 on Monday. At least 6,060 foreign nations are among the dead. Water-related disasters, both severe floods and long droughts, have intensified over the last 2 decades due to climate change. A new study found higher global temperatures were more to blame than naturally changing weather patterns for increasingly frequent, widespread, and intense droughts and floods. The indication is that these intense events will increase as the climate crisis accelerates. These storms have caused significant flooding, mudslides, collapsed bridges, and unusable roads. In our medical news today, millions suffer from seasonal allergies in the U.S., and a new report finds climate change is likely leading to a longer pollen season and worsening allergies. Mandy Gaither has more on what you can do to protect yourself.
Spring is in the air, and if you're already overwhelmed by allergies, you're not alone.
The pollen is going to be in the air even longer, and it's happening earlier as well.
According to a new Climate Central report, weather and climate trends are worsening allergy season. The data shows earlier spring and longer periods of freeze-free days for parts of the U.S. have meant that plants have had more time to flower and release allergy-inducing pollen.
What happens in a warmer world, you have a longer growing season. And so these areas with the green dots, this shows 60 or more days change with the longer growing season.
The CDC says people with respiratory illnesses like asthma may be more sensitive to pollen. Exposure has been linked to asthma attacks and more people being admitted to the hospital for respiratory problems. To reduce your exposure when pollen counts are high, start taking allergy medicine early. Close doors and windows and avoid outdoor activity in the early morning when pollen counts are highest. Remove clothes you've worn outside and shower to get the pollen off of your skin and hair.
The Mayo Clinic also suggests keeping indoor air dry with a dehumidifier and cleaning floors often with a vacuum cleaner that has a HEPA filter. In Minnesota, more people are being accused of defrauding a federal child nutrition program. A group of 60 people from the Minneapolis-St. Paul nonprofit Feeding Our Future are accused of stealing $250 million. That money was meant to feed low-income kids during the COVID-19 pandemic. On Monday, U.S. Attorney Andrew Lugar announced the additional charges.
While the defendants we announced today are new, and some of the tactics they used are specific to how they executed the scheme, the song of the Feeding Our Future scandal remains the same. These defendants, just like the first 50 announced last fall, falsely claim to be feeding thousands of children a day.
He calls it the largest pandemic fraud in the United States. Not even half a year on the job, one Minnesota bus driver took matters into his own hands when he noticed a child walking outside during a winter storm. Kristen Mitchell has the story.
We're definitely eyes and ears. We're trained that way.
Just 4 months on the job as a Metro Transit bus operator,
We help as many people as we can.
Ambrose Young proved driving is more than getting from point A to B. February 22nd, a winter storm canceled school. Young was on his route near Theodore Wirth Park in Minneapolis.
I saw this child walking, and to myself, I was like, that's pretty weird.
The 9-year-old boy was wearing a backpack, walking alone in the cold, then trying to get into a car.
You just knew something was off.
Absolutely.
Young pulled over and got the child on board the warm bus. He noticed he was nonverbal and anxious, later learning he had autism.
The boy had walked about 15 blocks from his home to where driver Young found him. The high temperature that day was just 21 degrees.
The child matched the description of a boy who had wandered off.
We held hands out of the bus.
Metro Transit Patrol Officer Juan Peralta helped reunite him with his family.
This was a very caring, loving family that just wanted their kid back.
Do you feel like a hero?
No. Being a dad, I'm very happy that I was able to step in, and help this child. I would hope that someone does that for my children as well.
Whether, they're victims of a crime or they're having a medical emergency, the street is safer because of these bus drivers.
In Minneapolis,
I'm just happy he was able to get safely back to his family.
Ambrose says that he is happy the child was able to reconnect with his family safely. Depending on how teachers approach their subject in the classroom, students might retain information better. Understanding material is important, but our latest top-notch make learning academics and extracurriculars a bit more fun.
Each workday starts the same for Dan Rampenschreider.
Morning, Olivia.
And every class gets underway with a game.
Jordan is closer.
Where we have to guess like a country and we have to guess a year for certain things, and it changes every day.
You got it.
Just really makes it fun.
A friendly and fun start is important for the social studies teacher now in his 4th year at Bangor Middle School, because he knows how powerful it can be. He originally grew up in Muskego, but right before starting high school,
me and my family moved up to Mauston, Wisconsin. That was tough for me.
Having to start his social circle from scratch as the new kid, but his Mauston teachers stepped up.
And they really made me feel like I was in the right place. So those teachers had a huge impact.
And those teachers inspired him to do the same.
I wanted to make sure that they could have an engaging experience and then, have role models.
And what goes around really comes around. One of his Bangor students now is going through the same process as a new student.
It was a struggle, kind of getting new friends and meeting everyone, trying to fit in and everything. But he was there.
Yeah, it's Andrew.
Rampenschreider isn't just there in the classroom. He's out helping coach cross country and track.
He wants to connect with us more, by doing cross country and track and all that. It really shows that he wants to be with us more, connect with us more.
The students really enjoy that. If they see you at a sporting event or a forensics event, if they just see you outside of the classroom, it shows that you care and appreciate what they do for the district.
He's even got signs of appreciation from students hanging on his wall.
So it kind of just started off a few of them, but I really feel like the kids, they see it and they come up to me with one and add it to the wall. So this has been probably going on for about 3 years now.
Showing how quickly a teacher can make an impact on so many students.
It's just that class that you're like, let's go, I get to go there every day.
Yeah, I think I am set in stone with this career. I'm so happy I chose it. I leave work every single day with a smile on my face.
Dan Rampitschreider, truly a top-notch teacher.
He also runs the 7th grade Quiz Bowl and will be coaching high school cross country next year. He is finishing up his master's degree in education.
Well, sure, it's a very cold start here this morning. We got clear skies overhead here as well in La Crosse with current temperatures at 7 degrees. We have very calm winds, though, to work with. That's good. Looking at temperatures here around 10 degrees at 6 o'clock. Lots of sunshine through the rest of the morning and also really into the early afternoon. Maybe a few clouds develop here by late this afternoon into early this evening with temperatures into the 30s. In fact, our high today should reach around 36 degrees under mostly sunny, but also very cold. Southeast winds at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. For tonight, we drop down to 27, mostly clear skies tonight with seasonable conditions. South winds 10 to 15. So for your DriveCast, things this morning are definitely looking much better than yesterday. We had those slick roadways. Today is a little bit drier, though, and we're going to be looking at those clear and calm conditions lasting for your lunch hour. And we do expect mostly sunny and dry conditions to continue by this evening as well. So we'll talk more about this in the full weather forecast. I'll let you know how long this is going to last because there could be some changes later in the 8-day forecast, which we'll talk about. But also coming up in our Buzz Report, the famous singer who made one Waiter's Day very special. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, everyone. Sure is a very cold start this morning. We got mostly clear skies, but check out our temperatures, though, at 7 degrees here in La Crosse. Visibility, though, looking good for the driving conditions at around 10 miles. Conditions to the north in Eau Claire at 0 degrees, so much colder with a few clouds there. Winds, though, are looking nice and calm. And you can see in our satellite and radar picture how quiet things are. That's because we are under this very strong area of high pressure building across the upper Midwest. And this system is forecast to slowly move its way east here today, but still remain in control of our weather environment throughout much of the day today. Temperatures are currently very cold here, as we already saw, but some spots even colder than what I just showed you. Black River Falls at 12 below, 5 below in Sparta, 1 below currently in Volkfield, and well to the north in Rusk County. Ladysmith, you're currently waking up to 8 below 0, while the rest of us are mainly into the lower single-digit readings here this morning. Now, we're going to continue to remain into those type of temperatures through at least 7 o'clock this morning. Then by noon, we're at 25 and sunny, lots of sunshine, 36 degrees by 4 o'clock in the afternoon today. And then by 8 o'clock, we're looking at clear skies, temperatures dropping to about 29. And you can see right now things are looking very quiet, which will continue as we head throughout the rest of the morning here. Notice the clockwise flow in the clouds here turning. That's from that high pressure system keeping us quiet throughout the day. Maybe a few clouds here as we head into tonight, but that's about it. Now by tomorrow morning, we're going to be watching cloudy skies develop here from the west and move east. So we'll start to see mainly cloudy conditions take over as we head into late tomorrow morning. And then the cloudy weather will continue as we progress throughout the day tomorrow as well, with temperatures during the afternoon picking up into the 40s, maybe even the low 50s. But again, this high pressure system that's over us right now is going to slide its way towards the east, keeping us quiet here today. But here comes that next system that we're talking about, though. By the end of this week on Thursday, it's going to start to move in our general direction. That's going to give us some wet weather to work with in the form of some scattered to widespread rain showers, which could also transition over to snow here as we head into Thursday night and also into Friday, which is why we do have those good chances of rain and snow here near the end of the work week there, as you can see for Thursday and Friday. Now, we will be looking at some lingering cloud cover on Saturday, but much sunnier, though, for Sunday with a high of 37. The first official day of spring is next Monday, and we're going to start it off looking cloudy with temperatures at 44, followed by cloudy skies with 46 degrees on Tuesday. Low temperatures mainly into the teens and 20s, and our highs, with the exception for Wednesday, mainly into the 30s and 40s.
In our Buzz Report this morning, you've probably seen it posted before on social media, a waiter receiving a huge tip. But this waiter couldn't believe his good fortune when it happened to him. Jordan Schaefer was working his usual Sunday shift when a party of 18 showed up with Jason Derulo leading the pack. The singer tipped Jordan $5,000. Now he says he can put that money towards paying for school.
Children stole the power of all the gods. This is very personal, Billy.
Shazam flies back into theaters this weekend. Zachary Levi returns as the titular character in Shazam, Fury of the Gods. The Daughters of Atlas are out to reclaim the powers granted to Billy Batson and his family in the new sequel. Shazam, Fury of the Gods is out on Friday.
To catch a grandma, you have to think like a grandma. Think, what would grandma do?
Pedro Pascal, detective, the star of The Mandalorian and The Last of Us, has been seen in promos for the latest version of the popular mobile game Merge Mansion. Pascal plays the game's detective Tim Rockford, teasing the mystery at the Bolton family mansion. The Merge Mansion update is set for March 28th. And before we head to break, it is time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
That's right. We want to wish Oliver a happy 8 months today. Now, Oliver is a super happy baby who loves playing with his older siblings.
Happy 8th birthday to Leona. Leona loves building Legos and rollerblading.
Happy 18th birthday to Allison. Allison loves watching true crime videos and playing volleyball.
Happy 88th birthday to Freddie. Freddie spent many years auctioneering farm sales.
Happy 88th birthday to Ethel. Ethel loves playing cards and making crafts.
Happy 88th birthday to, I can't.
Reynold.
Reynolds has.
Reynold, or I believe that's correct.
He has 11 grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren.
Well, if you know a special someone that's turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next. Time for your Morning News Now. Governor Evers has continued making his way around the state to talk about his new budget. On Monday, the governor was in Holmen. Part of Evers' budget plan is $120 million devoted to his Healthy Meals, Healthy Kids program. It would provide breakfast and lunch to Wisconsin public school students. The Holmen School District has a universal nutrition program, which helps teach students healthy eating habits. Evers says it will impact many kids around the state and Wisconsin's own food producers.
For the most part, a lot of the food that goes into food service programs comes from Wisconsin farmers, and we can make that even more important. And so I haven't heard any people say it's dead on arrival, so I guess it's still alive, and we're hopeful that we can get that through.
This is all part of Governor Evers' plan to invest more than $2.6 billion in the state schools. It would be the largest investment in state history. More people in Minnesota are being accused of defrauding a federal child.
While the defendants we announced today are new, and some of the tactics they used are specific to how they executed the scheme, the song of the Feeding Our Future scandal remains the same. These defendants, just like the first 50 announced last fall, falsely claimed to be feeding thousands of children a day.
He calls it the largest pandemic fraud in the United States. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services is investigating a series of scams that target food share members. The scam tells members to call a number and provide information about their account, seemingly to avoid benefits being locked. And scammers use this information to steal benefits. The DHS is removing access to unknown phone numbers and replacing Quest cards that may have been affected by the scam. To learn how to protect your benefits, we posted more information at news8000.com. Reminders for voters in La Crosse, if you requested an absentee ballot for the upcoming April election, it is on the way. If you would like to vote absentee but haven't requested a ballot, don't panic. You can request a ballot until Thursday, March 30th. In-person absentee voting opens Tuesday, March 21st through the 31st. Make sure to bring a photo ID to the polls or follow all instructions for mailing your ballot. The city of La Crosse is making changes to downtown parking ramps. Beginning on April 3rd, parking during the weekdays will cost $1 per hour from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the evening. There is no cost for parking on weekdays from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Parking is free on the weekends. These rates only apply to the ramps on Pine Street, Main Street, Market Square, and the La Crosse Center ramp. The Riverside ramp will remain free of charge at all times.
As you head out the door this morning, our temperatures are into the teens. We'll be warming up into the 20s between 11 o'clock and 1. And then by 3 and 5, we should be into the mid-30s there under mostly sunny skies. So much colder here today. Now for tomorrow, I'm expecting highs to drastically jump up to 51. Mostly cloudy skies, though, for tomorrow. And then a storm system is going to bring us a chance of rain and snow for Thursday and all snow here on Friday. Cloudy skies can linger into Saturday before sunshine returns on Sunday, but highs mainly into the 30s and 40s and lows into the teens and 20s.
Well, hopefully there's not a St. Patrick's Day parade on Friday because it's going to be snowing out.
Yeah, snow and rain.
Maybe it'll be on Sunday when it's Sunday, or when it's sunny out.
Exactly.
That's what I keep looking forward to is the sun.
I know. Well, at least we'll have the sun today.
I know. I'm
So
going to have
there's
to go outside and
Yeah.
take a walk and enjoy it while I can.
Exactly, and you'll probably have to wait Sunday for sun again.
Derek, thank you. And thank you for watching News 8 Now. Don't forget to keep up with the news of the day on news8000.com. We'll have the latest updates to today's top stories on News 8 Now at noon. Have a great day, and thank you again for watching News 8. We will catch you later.